Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We head out west to start this hour with an episode of Wild Bill-Hickok starring Guy Madison. And yes, he was also played the role on television as well, if in case you didn't know. This was originally broadcast February 20th, 1952. This episode entitled Gunsmoke and Violets.
Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals, presents Wild-Bill-Hickok!
Hi, you folks, hold on to your hats and pass those Kellogg's sugar corn pops. Because here comes Guy Wild Bill and his pal Jingles, which is me, Andy Devine. We got another rootin' tootin' Wild Bill Hickok adventure story for you from that great new cereal with the sweetening already on it, Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops!
Today, Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops brings you Wild Bill Hickok, transcribed in Hollywood and starring Guy Madison as Wild Bill and Andy Devine as his pal Jingles. In just 30 seconds, you'll hear the exciting story of Gunsmoke and Violets. Now, let's listen. When Wild Bill Hickok gave up scouting and Indian fighting, he decided he wanted to be a peace officer. He wanted to help bring law and order to the West and run out the bad men. The first time he wore a star on his chest was when he became town marshal in Hays City, Kansas. And the first big adventure Bill and his saddle partner Jingles ran into was Gunsmoke and Violet.
Whoa, whoa. Oh, boy. Hays City ain't never seen nothing like this before. Oh, boy. Bill!
What's up, Jingles?
Bill, guess who's coming to Hays City? Just guess.
President Grant.
No, not the president. Guess again.
Billy the Kid?
No, this is really important.
All right, who is it?
Violet Purnay. That's who.
Violet Purnay. Who's she?
Oh, just the prettiest little singer in
Jingles. Something tells me you haven't got your mind completely on your job of being a deputy marshal in Hays City.
Oh, sure I have. And she's got red hair and a peaches and cream complexion, and she's going to be appearing right across the street at the Blue Feather.
And she's going to mean nothing but trouble.
Yeah, and Pharaoh Nagel signed her up to appear here at the Blue Feather for 3 whole weeks. And, huh? What do you mean she's going to be trouble to us, Bill? Oh, a pretty girl like that?
A pretty little girl like that will stand this cow town on its ear. There'll be more shooting over her than a cattle feud.
Now, what's that ruckus?
Looks like it started already, partner. Come on.
Violet ain't even town yet. Hey, there's a crowd in front of the Blue Feather Gambling Hall, Bill.
Yeah, let's go see what happened.
Bill, look at that rider hightailing it out of town.
Yeah, there's been a man shot.
Yeah, looks like he's dead.
What happened here?
All right, don't everybody speak at once now.
Well, now, Marshal, it didn't really amount to much. Just a couple of the boys got in a little friendly argument over my pretty little coming attraction.
Yeah, Pharaoh, it looks like a friendly argument. This one looks mighty dead to me.
He was a little slow on the draw, that's all.
And I reckon that Jasper we saw riding out of town in a high lope did the killing.
Now, I wouldn't be the one to say I saw him do it.
No, Pharaoh, you wouldn't. So we can chalk up another killing to you and the Blue Feather.
To me? Now, Marshal, I was inside getting the place decorated for Violet Purnay's arrival this afternoon. I had nothing to do with the shooting.
Oh, no, you never do. You slick-haired sidewinder.
We're never going to clean up this town until we run you out of it and close up that rat's nest you operate, Pharaoh. But someday I'm going to do just that.
I wouldn't try it if I were you, Hickok. I got a lot of friends in Hays City.
Yeah, every crooked gambler, owl hoot, and polecat in town.
They shoot real straight, too.
Yeah, when they're aiming at somebody's back.
This is a warning, Pharaoh. When that new singer you got coming arrives, you better keep order in your place, or I'll close it up so tight it'll take a barrel of blasting powder to open the door.
Now step aside, friends, and let me help the little lady off the stage. Well, Miss Pernay, welcome to Hay City. I'm Pharaoh Nagel. My arm, ma'am.
I can walk, thank you. You know why I'm here.
Well, here she is, boys. Smile at her.
Thank you. My, what a wonderful reception. I love you, everyone. Where's Jerry?
Don't worry about him now. All right, boys, that's enough. Let us through. Remember, Miss Violet Pernay will be singing, dancing on the Blue Feather stage tonight. Come in early and avoid the rush. Come on, look pleasant.
This is very exciting, Mr. Nagel. This is my first engagement this far west.
You'll get a thrill out of it, I'll guarantee it.
I'm sure I will. Mr. Nagel, who's that tall, handsome man coming this way?
Where? Oh.
He's wearing a star on his chest. Is that the constable?
We call them marshals out west, ma'am.
I think I'm going to like it here, Mr. Nagel.
I wouldn't pay any attention to that star packer. He's a punk.
Well, he doesn't look it, I'm sure.
You'd better go right on up to your rooms now. They're all ready for you. Chang, you take Miss Pernay up and make her comfortable. I'll see you later, Violet.
Oh, but I'd like to meet
Go on
him.
now. Well, Hickok, I see you turned out to welcome my new star. Too bad you were a little late.
No, well, ain't you going to introduce us?
You can see her at the Blue Feather tonight. Why don't you both come over and be my guest?
We'll be there, Pharaoh. But I doubt if you'll consider us very welcome guests.
She sure is pretty.
Hickok, don't you go starting trouble in my place. If you do, we'll have 2 marshals in town. One Boot Hill and a new one behind that star you're wearing.
Oh, now don't you talk big.
I never started trouble yet, Pharaoh, but I'll be right there when it comes to finishing it. Come on, Jingles.
Bill, take me to the Blue Feather tonight. I sure want to see Violet Pernay singing.
Look,
Yeah, boss. You want me?
I called you, didn't I? Now listen. That mail-order marshal's getting too big for his boots. Tonight, when he comes to the Blue Feather, I want him finished off. Spread the word to the boys. Wild Bill Hickok dies tonight.
February 20th, 1952, Wild Bill Hickok on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Hi, you're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The Adventures of Wild Bill Hickok had an interesting history on television. It ran for 8 seasons from April of 1951 through September of 1958. It began in syndication, ran on CBS from 1955 through 1958, and it also ran 1 year concurrently on ABC from 1957 to 1958, sponsored by Kellogg's. Now, the radio version, a little interesting history there, it ran from 1951 to 1954 on Mutual, and it was just on Sundays, actually, I should say it ran multiple days of the week, and would continue on Sundays through 1956, starring basically the same cast as the television program. First time we have had Guy Madison on, but of course, you know, we have had Andy Devine on previously on a number of Jack Benny shows. From February 20th, 1952, Wild Bill Hickok.
Unaware of his danger, Wild Bill Hickok, in line with the marshal's duty, showed up at the Blue Feather Gambling Palace that evening with Jingles by his side. They were just in time to hear Miss Violet Pernay's opening number.
Lay your cool hand on my brow. Promise that you will never.
Now, Bill, didn't I tell you, ain't she an angel straight from heaven?
You're right, partner, she is. But don't forget why we're here.
Huh? Oh, yeah, to preserve law and order.
Every gunslick in the county is here tonight, Jingles.
Where?
Look around you. In the far corner over there to your right. Against the wall. That's Lucky Joe Bates.
It is?
This way from him is Sam Bass and his gang.
Ooh, that's a mean-looking crew.
On the other side, there's Jesse Evans. I thought he'd gone over to Abilene.
Yeah, There's Rack Munson and Sneaky Dolan over by the piano.
This place is a cake of dynamite. One loose shot and it'll blow itself sky high. Uh-oh.
What is it, Bill?
There goes Hook to tell Farrell we got here all right.
Come in.
Hickok's here.
Well, are the boys all set?
Yeah, boss. Well, that big deputy's with him.
Then get them. Make it quick and quiet.
I don't reckon that'll be so easy.
I don't care how hard it is. Do it. That tin horn marshal ain't gonna run me out of town. Now go get rid of him. For good.
Yeah, sure, boss, sure. We'll get rid of him. Pronto.
Lame-brained jugheads. Well, I thought I told you. Oh. Look who's coming in now. Come right in, Jerry.
Yeah. I'm coming in, Farrell.
You hear Violet's opening song, Jerry?
Yeah, I heard it.
She see you?
No. You know I wouldn't let her see me. You knew it all the time.
That's why she came out here, Jerry. To see her fine young brother who came to the great big West to make a great big name for himself.
Lay off me, Farrell. You know why I came west.
Yeah, I know. They sent you out here because you were a disgrace to your family at home. They thought it'd make a man of you. Look at you.
Well, you didn't have to drag my sister out here.
Why, Jerry, I was just hoping I could be the guardian angel who could put you back in the good graces of your family. That's the reason I wrote your sister.
To blackmail her into coming out here to sing in your snake's den for nothing. Well, it won't do you any good, see?
Oh. So the little boy's got a new toy hidden in his sleeve. A derringer.
Yeah, Farrell. With a double barrel holding 2 tickets to Boot Hill for you.
Go ahead, Jerry. Shoot me. That'd be a good way to get even for your gambling debts, wouldn't it?
I will. I'll kill you.
Well, go ahead. Pull the trigger, Jerry.
Keep away from me.
What's the matter, boy? You scared? Does your stomach feel like a feather? What are you so pale for, Jerry?
No, get away. I'll...
You'll do nothing. Give me that gun. You wouldn't shoot a rabbit. You haven't got the nerve. Now get out of here.
All right. All right, I'm going. But I'll figure out a way to get you, Farrell Nagel. You wait. I'll get you.
Get out. That blubbering pup. I'd better get rid of him. Wonder if the boys are through with Hickok yet.
Well, Jingles, you seen enough for a while?
Well, ain't she going to sing again?
Sure, she will later. What do you say we make the rounds and we come back?
Mr. Hickok, can I speak to you a minute?
Sure, Jerry. What do you want?
We can't talk in here. They'll see me.
Who'll see?
Never mind. Come on outside, please, Mr. Hickok. It's a matter of life and death.
Who's deaf, Jerry?
Mr. Hickok's.
Bill.
Wait a minute, Jingles. All right, Jerry, what's this all about?
Farrell Nagel's planning to have you killed tonight. I heard him tell Hook to kill you both.
Oh, I knew we should have took up ranching instead of marshaling.
You sure you heard this, Jerry?
Sure. You believe me, don't you? You're going to go get Farrell, aren't you?
Jerry, you don't like Farrell Nagel, do you?
No, but that's got nothing to do with this.
I think it has. I saw you just come out of his office. Are you working for him?
That low-down rattler, I should say not.
But he's got a hold on you. What is it?
Well, nothing, Mr. Hickok.
Gambling debts?
Well, I owe him a little.
Yes, a little by $3,000. Now try to fool me, Jerry.
3,000 simoleons? Oh, Bill, that's a lot of money.
It sure is, partner. Just about enough to make Farrell have a mortgage on his soul. All right, Jerry, come clean. What's the rest of it?
Nothing. Nothing. I told you he was going to kill you, and if you don't believe it, I can't help. I gotta go now.
Wait a minute, Jerry.
That kid sure got a burr under his saddle, Bill.
Yeah, partner. He took a look over his shoulder and got a scared look in his eye.
And hightailed it down the street. I wonder what he saw.
Oh, Mr. Hickok.
Oh, Bill, it's her. Oh, my fluttering heartstrings, Bill. I think I'm going to fall apart.
Well, pull yourself together, Jingles, and let's go in and see what you want.
Bill, I got a lump in my throat as big as a watermelon. If she looks straight at me, why, I'll swallow it and I'm liable to choke to death.
Mr. Hickok, may I speak to you a moment?
Howdy, miss. Sure. Oh, I'd like you to meet my deputy, Jingles.
No.
Hello, Jingles.
Bill.
Well, what's the matter, Jingles? You don't look well at all. You poor man, let me feel your brow. You might have a touch of fever.
Oh, do it again.
Maybe he's catching cold, miss. What was it you wanted to talk to me about?
I'm in terrible trouble, and I want you to help me. I gotta talk to you later, away from here where nobody knows.
Anybody bothering you, ma'am, I'll tear them apart with my own hands. Just show them to me.
Well, Jingles, you got your voice back.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I must talk to you right... Oh, here he comes. Say nothing. Well, Mr. Hickok, you're very sweet to say such nice things about my singing. Oh, hello, Mr. Nagel.
Well, Hickok, I see you dropped round after all. Why didn't you let me know you were here?
Save the act, Farrell. I saw your boy Hook go in at the hours here.
Hook? Why, I haven't seen him. Where is he?
Probably gone back into some dark hole with the rest of the rats, and I hope he leaves room for you.
Hickok, do you always let your deputy talk that way in front of ladies?
No. Excuse me, ma'am. I forgot.
That's all right. It's just about time for my song.
Well, come on, Violet. I'll see you to your dressing room. Make yourself at home, Hickok. I'll have some of the boys drop around, see if you want anything.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Hickok. I'll see you again.
I hope so, Miss Violet.
Yeah, me too.
Come on, Jingles.
Yes, sir. Oh, where are we going in such a hurry, Bill?
Round back of the Blue Feather, Jingles.
Oh.
I don't know what Farrell's up to, but I don't want any harm to come to Miss Violet.
Well, what about us? Jerry said Farrell was all set to have us killed tonight. I don't like that.
We'll worry about that later, Jingles. Be quiet now. I think our dressing room is just about here.
There they are, boys. Grab them.
Hey, Bill, let's Farrell's going.
Luck's run out, Hickok. Give it to him, boys. Give it to him.
Say, partners, all you ranchers who are eating your Kellogg sugar corn pops right now, like I am, listening to the show, hold up there. Take a look at that bag inside the big yellow box. That bag is pure aluminum. You know why? Well, it keeps your sugar corn pops fresh up to 10 times longer. And that means Kellogg sugar corn pops are always fresh. Yep, crisp and crunchy and fresh as an evening breeze. Yes, sirree, by jingo, you can always depend on Kellogg sugar corn pops for downright delicious eating out of the box like candy or out of the bowl with milk. Now, don't go fussing with only one box of new, even sweeter sugar corn pops. The way your family's going to go for them, you're liable to miss out on some. Get your mom to load up big. Then you can have all the Kellogg sugar corn pops you want. Now, let's listen to our song.
Yippee! Sugar pops.
They're sugar-coated, taste so sweet. Just pour on some milk.
Boy, they're neat.
Kellogg sugar corn pops. Sugar pops are tops. Now sugar pops, you know, are sweet.
But cowboys know there's an extra treat.
Right out of the box, take a handful out. Pop 'em into your mouth as you run about. Kellogg sugar corn pops. Sugar pops are tops.
Wild Bill Hickok and Jingles ran outside and around to the back of the Blue Feather Gambling Palace. Just as they were near the square of yellow light from Violet's dressing room window, they were jumped by Farrell's men.
I'm getting out of here! Me too! Bill, you all right?
Guess so, partner. How about you?
Well, I'm in one piece, but I ain't never going to be the same. That greased-up salamander Farrell's just about done his last one to me. Now, let's go get him.
Not so fast, partner. If we get him now, we won't ever know what Miss Violet was talking about.
Then what are we going to do?
You go find young Gary. I got an idea. He's mixed up in this somehow.
But how?
I don't know. Just go get him and bring him here to the Blue Feather. I'll be around someplace.
What are you going to do with what's left of Hook?
I'm going to put him on my shoulder and deliver him to Farrell personally. See you later, Jingles.
Watch out for that salamander, Bill. Farrell's got more tricks than a medicine show magician.
Well, Hook, I heard all... Hickok.
Yeah, Farrell, kind of surprised to see me, huh? I brought you a present. Looks like you sent a boy to do a man's job.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That makes us even.
Guy Madison, Andy Devine, starring in Wild Bill Hickok, going back to September 20th, 1952, the episode entitled Gunsmoke and Violets. The conclusion follows these important messages from your favorite station. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Wild Bill Hickok, starring Guy Madison and Andy Devine, February 20th, 1952.
I don't know why you've got Miss Violet tied up and gagged. Suppose you set her free.
This is none of your business, Hickok.
I got a different idea about that, mister. I'll take that gag out myself.
Oh, thank goodness you came, Mr. Hickok.
Now these ropes.
Be careful, Mr. Hickok. Farrell's got a sawed-off shotgun under his desk.
Yeah, Hickok, and I'm using it, too.
That's just the sort of trick I'd expect from you.
Bill, are you in here?
Yeah, Jingles.
I heard the shots. You all right?
Sure, but Pharaoh's hands are singing a little.
Serves him right. Miss Violet, what are you tied up for?
I see you found Jerry.
Yeah, he wasn't far away. Come on in, Jerry.
What you want with me, Mr. Hickok?
Jerry. Oh, Jerry, you're safe.
Violet, I'm getting out of here.
Oh, no, Jerry, don't.
Come back here, Jerry.
Hickok, what do you think you're trying to do? This is my office.
Close your trap, you sneaking coyote, before I close it for you.
That's good advice, Pharaoh. I've got a little mystery to clear up. Then I'm going to take care of you.
You've got nothing on me.
Maybe not. We'll see. Violet, Jerry's your brother, isn't he?
Yes. Farrell wrote me about Jerry's debts. Said if I'd come out and sing in the Blue Feather for 3 weeks, he'd let Jerry go free.
And if you didn't?
He threatened to kill him.
Why, you good-for-nothing sidewinder. Pharaoh, I've got a mind...
Hold it, Jingles. We'll let the jury decide about that. Well, Jerry, looks to me like you better get some sand in your craw.
Yeah, I've been no good, Mr. Hickok. And Violet's a champion. I'm sorry I got her into this.
The past is gone, Jerry, and you can't do anything about it. But the future is all yours, so treat it kindly.
I will, Mr. Hickok. On my word, I will.
Mr. Hickok, I can't thank you enough. I'd do anything for you and Jingles.
That's all right, ma'am. You helps have an excuse to close up the Blue Feather for good. That'll make our town a better place to live in.
Well, now, if you really want to do something for me, Miss Violet, I won't mind.
Anything, Jingles.
Well, the first time I met you, you said hello and looked up at me with them big brown eyes, and, well, I got first hot and then cold and then goosebumply all over, and it scared me a little.
Scared you?
Yeah. So I wondered if you'd do it all over again just so I could make sure that it was you instead of catching my death of pneumonia.
And now, here are the stars of Wild Bill Hickok, Guy Madison, and Andy Devine.
Thanks for being with us today, folks. We'll have another Wild Bill Hickok adventure story for you on Friday.
And by golly, if you want some fast and fancy riding, just you hear our story called Buckshot's Victory.
Meanwhile, Andy and I also hope you'll remember to get Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops.
Right. It's the great new cereal with the sweetening already on it.
You bet it is. Andy and I think Sugar Corn Pops are great. So long.
See you Friday.
Yes, sir. Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals, has brought you another exciting story of Wild Bill Hickok, starring Guy Madison and Andy Devine in person. Today's cast included Gene Bates, Stan Waxman, Lou Krugman, Eddie Firestone, and Jack Moyles. Our director is Paul Pierce. Music by Dick Orant. This is a David Heyer production transcribed in Hollywood. Don't forget to listen Friday, same time, same station, when Wild Bill Hickok rides in Buckshot's Victory. Now, this is Charlie Lyon speaking for Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops, the cereal with the sweetening already on it. Kellogg's Rice Krispies, the world's only talking cereal. And Kellogg's Corn Flakes, America's favorite ready-to-eat cereal.
Guy Madison, who played Wild Bill Hickok, passed away in 1996 at the age of 74, emphysema. Andy Devine, he passed away at the age of 71 back in 1977. He had suffered from leukemia and required periodic hospital treatment. He had been hospitalized for pneumonia and kidney problems at the time of his passing. That was the adventures of Wild Bill Hickok going back to February 20th, 1952, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is next. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we start another Yours truly, Johnny Dollar story. This one is the Bennett Matter. Has to deal with bugs. Firebugs. This one goes back to February 20th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Andrew Cord. Johnny, how'd you like to go to San Francisco?
What's up, Andy?
Well, we've written a lot of insurance for an independent contractor out there, a man named Arnold Bennett.
Uh-huh.
Last night, his latest project went up in smoke. An office building he completed a month ago.
How much is the policy worth?
There were 5 companies involved. They took it on at $100,000 apiece and turned it over to us.
$500,000?
Yep. I talked with the arson inspector for National Fire Underwriters in San Francisco. He said the fire looked phony.
I'll pack my things.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the 4-State Fire Insurance Corporation, 4065 Spear Boulevard, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Bennett Matter. Expense account item 1, $15, flowers for my girl. I wasn't able to keep our date. Instead, I met 4-State Fire Investigator Andrew Cord at his office, and we made immediate arrangements to fly to California. Item 2, $25.06, one raincoat. Item 3, $144.15. Air transportation, Hartford, New York, San Francisco. Our route, Andrew Cord filled me in on the details concerning Arnold Bennett.
Oh, Johnny, as things stand now, Bennett hasn't filed claim yet, although I imagine that'll be coming through pretty fast if I know him. I met him once when he was in New York getting money to finance one of his big subdivisions.
Yeah, it seems I've heard of him.
Oh, he's made time and life a couple of times each.
Oh, yeah.
When I met him, I said to myself, Andy looked well on this man. He may be the last of his kind.
Oh, how's that?
Well, Arnold Bennett must be past 60 now. He's been everything in his lifetime. Sailor, soldier, lawyer, financier, bootlegger, gun runner, Lord knows what all. Talked fast, worked hard, and what he couldn't get one way, he got another. All in all, he's done pretty well. It shows all over him. I didn't like him, Johnny.
Well, go on.
Well, maybe I was just jealous of his aggressiveness, or maybe it's that I've just heard stories of how he ran roughshod over big and little. About this new building of Bennett's that burned down.
Yeah.
Well, the man in San Francisco is pretty sure the fire was of incendiary origin.
Well, can he prove it?
Well, that'll be up to him, you and me. 4 state and national fire underwriters are going to handle the investigation. Federal, Great Atlantic, and tri-state underwriters aren't going to send any men at all. They figure it's best not to clutter things up.
But proving the fire was incendiary may not be too easy, Andy.
Well, we'll see when we get there. There's a standoff motive in the whole thing. We can start with that.
What's that?
Bennett's in financial trouble, big trouble. Taxes, so on. The fire was an out.
I see. Well, who's the arson man in San Francisco?
Billy Underwood.
Oh, good. Bill Underwood's one of the best arson men in the business.
Well, it's going to take all of us to get Bennett, Johnny. We'll split it 3 ways. We'll let Underwood handle the fire evidence. You can play front for us with Bennett, and I'll comb around in the financial situation.
Yeah, well, we sure got our work cut out for us. But listen, Andy, you sound sort of scared of this guy, Bennett.
I am, kind of.
Why?
Nobody's ever beat him.
Expense account item 4, $7.50. Incidentals upon arrival in San Francisco. Andy Cord and I checked in at the Fairmont, then went downstairs, rented a car, and drove out to the scene of the fire. Bill Underwood was already there, had been there all day. We all shook hands, and then Underwood broke it down. Bill was a bit of a pedant, had things pretty well organized for us.
Oh, it's this way. The watchman on duty saw a man loitering in the vicinity of the building when he came to work at 6 o'clock. 3 other witnesses remember the same man. A druggist, a filling station attendant on his way home from work, and a newsboy.
Got a description?
I did. Male, Caucasian, 25 to 30, medium build, approximately 170, dark hair, dark complexion. That's it. Have you talked to the police yet?
Haven't had a chance, Billy.
You know they got 8 men on this?
Well, with that much of a description, it might make it easier.
I sure hope so. So far, the description hasn't fitted anyone in the files yet. The newsboy swears that he saw this man sneak around the side of the building about 6 o'clock. The fire broke out about 6:30.
Anybody see him leave?
The newsboy says he saw him catch a bus on the corner right before the fire broke out.
Might help us.
But the bus driver on the line wasn't any help. He's pretty busy that time of night.
Have you had a chance to go over this yet?
Well, we started. I'm working with a fire inspector on it. And as soon as we come across anything, I'll let you know.
We can't overlook any possibility on this, Billy. Any.
Yeah. I know about Bennett. He's been out here asking me who I am, what I'm doing. He doesn't like it.
Oh, he doesn't?
Yeah. He learned to swear somewhere along the line. Has he filed claim yet?
No, we haven't heard.
But it's a professional firing job, I'm sure of it.
You're sure?
Well, I haven't got what I need in the way of concrete evidence yet, but I'll find it. Somewhere in these ashes. The place burned too well and too fast to be anything but professional. It was drafted. The fire got hot and going before anybody even spotted it.
Well, this is a little out of my league, Billy. Tell me more, will you?
Well, you see, an amateur will mess it up generally. It'll smoke a lot and somebody will spot it. Now, a bug, a nut, he'll do as good a job as a professional.
Oh?
But he'll stick around and watch it burn. Stand a good chance of getting caught. He might even call up somebody and tell him how happy he is. But this bird, the one the newsboy saw getting out of here fast, well, he sounds like he knows his business. It's business with him.
Then it'll be my job to connect him and Bennett somehow.
And that's the tough part.
Yeah. All I got to do is play around in the ashes. Oh, Johnny.
Yeah?
Watch your step with Bennett.
Sure.
He doesn't care about anybody.
I spent another 2 hours with Cord and Underwood covering the ruins of the 10-story office building that had been gutted the day before. Underwood acquainted Cord and me with all of the necessary details, all he could. That night, we sat with the 3 witnesses at a special show-up in the Hall of Justice. 60-odd suspects were paraded out. There were no identifications. The next morning, while Cord and Underwood carried on with their part of the investigation, I went out to Arnold Bennett's real estate office near the Presidio. Remember that old saw, how a woman in love is always beautiful? When I walked in, I had no idea Elizabeth Bennett was in love and no idea that she was beautiful. Her sallow face without makeup, framed in a wisp of stringy blonde hair, wasn't flattered by the shapeless black dress and low-heeled shoes she was wearing. Certainly not the going idea of beauty. Now, did her conversation reveal anything to indicate love?
Yes, sir. May I help you?
Mr. Bennett, please. My name's Dollar.
Dollar? D-O-L-L-A-R?
He's not expecting me.
Your business, Mr. Dollar.
4 State Fire Insurance Corporation. It's about the fire that destroyed the office building.
Oh, yes. Just a moment, please.
Well, what is it, Liz?
Mr. Dollar is here, Uncle Arnold.
I don't want to see anybody today. I told you that, you idiot.
Mr. Dollar's from 4 State. It's about the fire.
Oh. Well, send him in. And go out to lunch.
Yes, sir. It's all right, Mr. Dollar. Straight ahead.
He always like that?
He's nice today.
Thanks, Elizabeth. That's your name, isn't it?
Yes. I'm Elizabeth Bennett. Go straight ahead.
Dollar?
That's right. Mr. Bennett?
Come in, come in. I'm not going to ask you to sit down. I know why you're here. You have insurance investigator written all over your face.
Well, in that case, we can get right down to the business at hand.
What caused the fire?
They don't know yet.
It was deliberate.
What?
Somebody started that fire, that's what. And I know who. Get him and you'll save yourself some work. Tony Midas.
Tony Midas? Who's that?
The crackpot that set fire to my building. He's out of prison now, and he swore he'd get me.
Well, now, look, maybe you'd better tell me just who he is and why he'd want to get you.
Tony Midas worked for me once. I caught him stealing money, and I prosecuted him. He was sent to prison for 5 years, and he's the one you want.
You seem pretty certain of that.
Of course I'm certain of it. I know what enemies I have, what friends. Don't tell me I'm going to have to pussyfoot around with someone like you and get any place in this whole affair.
Well, there are some witnesses who got a look at the man who started the fire, or at least it's a good bet he's the one we're after. So tell me, what does this Tony Midas look like?
I don't remember. I hardly ever remember faces.
But you remembered his threat.
You bet your last nickel I remember his threat. And he's the kind of screwy punk to carry it out. Last week there was a small story in the newspaper that he was being released from prison.
Well, then we'll certainly look him up and have a talk with him.
That's very good of you, I'm sure.
Oh, now, look, this can be a very difficult thing all the way around, or we can all cooperate, Mr. Bennett.
I'll cooperate. I know why you're in town. I know who you came with. I met that glorified fire inspector yesterday. Underwood, you people don't fool me, and I'm not trying to fool you. Get Tony Midas, and you've got your man.
Did you tell the police about Midas?
No, I was waiting for some bird like you to walk in here with your high-handed attitude. Now I've told you, now you can get out and get busy looking for him.
Arnold Bennett lived up to all of his advance notices, and then some. I'm paid very well to stand and take what I have to find out what I want to find out. Sometimes it's not enough money. A review of the trial and proceedings in which Tony Midas had been convicted of grand theft, his threats at the time of his trial substantiated Bennett's information. That didn't surprise me. What did surprise me was that one of the 3 witnesses identified Tony Midas's mug picture as the man seen in the vicinity of the building the night of the fire. An APB went out for Midas. The San Francisco police began to turn the town upside down looking for him. By 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the other 2 witnesses had made up their minds that he was the man they had seen after all. The case against Midas became stronger. It was imperative that he be located. Johnny Dollar.
This is Elizabeth Bennett, Mr. Dollar. Remember in my uncle's office?
I remember.
Mr. Dollar, you're looking for Tony Midas, aren't you? You don't have to answer. I know you are. I think I can help you find him, but he's not the one you're looking for.
Look, if you turn him in...
Let me finish, and then we'll talk about him. I live at 1038 Murata Drive. I'll be home in an hour. We can talk there.
2 minutes later, when I was putting on my coat, I received another phone call. This one from Bennett's lawyer. He advised me that Arnold Bennett had filed claim and would bring suit if his claim was not honored in the prescribed length of time. I thanked him for the information and went downstairs and began to look around for a cab. A police car careened into the driveway, and a familiar hat on top of a familiar head leaned out.
Hey, Johnny! Go!
Yeah, Andy Cord.
How's all that, kiddo? Hop in.
Okay.
It's Inspector Truck and Inspector Kane.
Hi, what's up?
Somebody shot Arnold Bennett 10 minutes ago.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, the trail gets so rough, a couple of people just fall off dead. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
February 20th, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar on Classic Radio Theater. Please visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me there, classicradio.stream. Our shows are available all over the internet, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, and Audible, among other places. All you have to do is just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that we're with you here each and every time we roll around. And tell all your friends, please, the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.